Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are unwrapping the incredible story of chocolate. And trust me, this is about so much more than just a candy bar. We're going on a wild journey, from a bitter, spicy drink that was fit for ancient kings, all the way to a global obsession that's driven by pure science. You think you know chocolate? Well, let's find out. So let's just dive right in. That sweet, smooth bar you probably have stashed away somewhere, it's a completely different world from where chocolate's story actually began. Seriously, its original form is something you might not even recognize as chocolate at all. To really understand this transformation, we have to go back. Way back. Our first stop on this journey is seeing how a simple bean became a powerful, bitter brew. You know, every single piece of chocolate, from the simplest candy to the fanciest truffle, it all starts right here with the cacao bean. These things grow on cacao trees, which are actually kind of picky. They only grow in these warm, humid climates right around the equator. This is the very humble beginning of what would become a global obsession. Okay, so the ancient Mayans and Aztecs, they were the original chocolate lovers. But their version was absolutely nothing like the hot cocoa we drink. I mean, forget sweet and creamy. Think bitter, frothy, and often mixed with spices like chili peppers. There was no sugar at all. It was this powerful, savory drink, really considered a drink for the gods and for the elite. So, how in the world did we get from that spicy, bitter drink to the sweet stuff we all crave today? Well, the answer is this really fascinating mix of history and, you guessed it, science. Let's dig into what's actually happening inside your brain and body when you take a bite of chocolate. You know one of the most magical things about chocolate? It's the melting point. It melts at just below our body temperature, right around 97 degrees Fahrenheit or 36 degrees Celsius. And that is not a coincidence. It's the whole reason it goes from being a solid to that velvety, smooth liquid the second it hits your tongue. It's just this perfect melt-in-your-mouth experience. But it's more than just texture. There's some real chemistry at play here. Let me introduce you to theobromine. It's this natural compound found in cacao, and it acts as a mild stimulant. It gives you this gentle, feel-good mood boost, but without the jitters you might get from a big cup of coffee. It's a huge reason why chocolate just makes us feel, well, better. The whole process is this really simple and kind of wonderful chain reaction. You eat a piece of chocolate, and bam, your brain gets a signal to release endorphins. You know, your body's own natural feel-good chemicals. And the result? Just a little moment of happiness. It's science you can literally taste. And hey, if you're a fan of dark chocolate, there's an extra little bonus for you. The kinds with a high cocoa content are absolutely packed with antioxidants. And some research even suggests these compounds might have benefits for your heart health, giving you yet another reason to enjoy that treat. All right, it's time for a little bit of chocolate drama. We have to talk about a certain confection that hangs out in the candy aisle, but maybe, just maybe, doesn't truly belong in the chocolate family. Let's investigate the case of the great imposter. This brings us to a really important question. We tend to talk about dark, milk, and white chocolate like they're all just different flavors from the same family. But are they really created equal? Okay, here's the breakdown. For something to be officially, technically called chocolate, it has to have cocoa solids. That's the part of the cacao bean that has all the rich flavor and gives chocolate that deep brown color. Both dark and milk chocolate have them, but white chocolate, it's made using only the cocoa butter, that's the fatty part of the bean, along with sugar and milk. So without those flavorful cocoa solids, it's technically not chocolate at all. Crazy, right? Technicalities aside, real chocolate went on to become a massive global phenomenon. Let's take a look at how this once regional brew, after being totally transformed by European tastes, basically conquered the entire world. When chocolate finally got to Europe, it was completely reinvented. Adding sugar and milk was just the beginning. Countries like Belgium, Switzerland, and France took it and turned it into an art form. They developed new techniques, like something called conching, which is this process of grinding and mixing that creates that signature silky smooth texture we all love. They became, and still are, legendary for their chocolate craftsmanship. And in this really fascinating twist, chocolate's story has kind of come full circle. We mostly think of it as a sweet treat, but its versatility is incredible in savory dishes. The perfect example is traditional Mexican mole sauce. It uses the rich, deep flavor of unsweetened chocolate as a key ingredient, which is this beautiful nod back to its spicy, savory Aztec roots. If you want to get a sense of just how massive our modern-day global obsession is, just think about this:
The largest chocolate bar ever made weighed over 12,000 pounds. That's more than 5,400 kilograms. That's a staggering amount of chocolate, and it perfectly captures just how much we love this stuff.
So, after a journey through thousands of years of history and a deep dive into the science of our cravings, where does all this leave us? Well, it leaves us right here, ready to appreciate our next bite of chocolate in a completely new way. Chocolate's journey is truly an epic story of transformation, from a spicy drink for royalty to a scientific wonder, and now a global comfort food. So the next time you unwrap a piece, just remember you're tasting centuries of history. Which leaves us with one delicious question. What do you think the next chapter of chocolate's story is going to taste like?